What's going on, people, and welcome to a brand new episode of Too Many Games and Not Enough Time, the podcast where I get to speak to incredible gamers from across the globe. Once again, thank you for all of the love on the channel. Huge congratulations to the winner of our next gen console giveaway. Now, we've been doing bare content. I've been dropping 4 videos a week. It is a mazza. So let me know if you're feeling all of the podcasts, and I hope you're catching up with these incredible gamers. Now today, I have a super incredible gamer. We have a Twitch streamer. You can see them, man, they're suited and booted on the BAFTAs. You hear me? Catch him chilling with the waifus. And then, man, they have got videos that are hitting a milli. Chocolate Kieran, welcome to Too Many Games, my G.
Thank you for having me. That might be the best entrance I've ever had. Thank you.
Thank you. I do try. I try to make sure everyone's intro is special. And to be honest with you, it's because everyone that I get on the podcast are people that I've looked at their career, loved at what they're doing, and really want to talk gaming with them. So I've known about you for a while, and we've always kind of we've always been passing and it's been highs and lows, and we've never had a proper video game convo. So we're gonna do that today, my G. You get me? So I had to come and rep with you because you get me. Them man, they're doing GQ models and all of them thing. They're looking all pack out in his orange. So I was like, let me try a little thing and try and be smooth like you, because I know you are the smooth guy. But I want to know.
What are you talking about?
I want to know, where did your passion for gaming started? Let's talk about little Kieran. You get me? When he was being rude, he was getting conked in the forehead and them thing there. I want to know about little Kieran and how his journey in gaming started.
So funny you say that. Now I'm thinking about it. It pretty much came from anime. So a lot of the games that I used to play as a kid, I would watch the anime, and then my parents would buy me the games for it. So you had obviously Pokemon. Started off with Pokemon Blue, Dragon Ball. We had Dragon Ball Ultimate Battle 22, I think it was, on PlayStation 1. Games like Digimon World. So yeah, anime is pretty much what got me into playing games, and from there, obviously branching out into different stuff.
That's sick.
Yeah,
that's so sick. And it's funny as well because back in the days, what a lot of people didn't know is there were so many licensed games. Every single thing was licensed. It could be Bug Bunny, Mickey Mouse, Lion King, anime. Everything was licensed into a video game. And I remember when I first started watching anime, I didn't even know it was called anime, fam. I was just watching these Japanese cartoons that were sick. And then I found out this company called Manga, and they were doing stuff. I was watching things I should not have been watching. You get me? I was like, why was my man selling me these DVDs? Because I was way too young to be watching these things. But having that connection with the show and being able to watch that show and Dragon Ball Z and seeing Goku and then being able to play as him. And it didn't matter how trash the game was, because some of these licensed games were rubbish. But just to be able to live out that fantasy and play how you watch the anime was just mind-blowing, innit?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
So, Pokemon.
Yes.
Pokemon is a game that has been so important to so many gamers. Even today, this is the 3rd episode of Too Many Games I recorded today. And this is the 3rd time I'm going to be talking about Pokemon today alone. And it's weird because Pokemon didn't connect with me the way it did a lot of people, because I've been playing RPGs my whole life. Okay. So Final Fantasy VII, I played Final Fantasy VII before I played Pokemon. So I was playing these advanced RPGs. Yeah. And when I tried to go on Pokemon, I was a bit like, this is a bit baby's first RPG for me.
That's exactly what I call it. Pokemon is baby's first JRPG, because you're a big Persona fan, right?
Yeah, love Persona.
I always say, if you want to step into big JRPGs, if you like Pokemon, Persona.
Yeah,
because Persona's adult Pokemon.
Exactly. It just works well. So what was the first Pokemon because I remember you saying about Blue, and what was it about it that really grabbed you?
So I'm going to be completely honest here. because I was so young, I did not finish that game. I barely knew what was happening. I just knew there were Pokemon in the game. I could fight with them. I don't know how old was I? Maybe like 4 or 5 years old. Like my cousin gave me his version of the game because I think he ended up getting red and blue.
Okay.
So it was nice enough to lend me his, and I got to play that. But young Kieran was just bamboozled, just enjoying seeing Squirtle on the screen. So,
Fam, who was finishing games when they was a you? I ain't
right.
finished nothing, fam. Especially like I didn't see the client. I remember playing Sonic. Sonic used to be hard, fam. I would get past like you get past like 3 or 4 zones, and then it was done because you'd run out of continues. I don't even know what the last levels of Sonic. Do you know what? I might even go on YouTube and look because I don't know what the last levels of Sonic 2 even are. Because I know I got to a certain point and I never got past that. And then because that's what we used to do as kids. We just replayed the same
Exactly.
things
Yeah,
because we was just excited to game. So
absolutely.
the whole anime thing has obviously stayed with you. I was joking earlier about obviously the waifus and stuff like that. But what is it about anime games that has really connected with you? Because I know you recently started Genshin Impact and stuff like that.
Yes. Genshin Impact. That's a whole different beast. That game, you could probably play that forever. I don't know if that game's ever ending, but there's something about. I don't know if it's because of nostalgia, but like the actual character designs and certain tropes that play out in anime games, like I've just kind of like fallen in love with. And I
Yeah.
don't know if that's because it's an inherent thing that like it's a comfort thing from like child up to adulthood. Like you see these familiar things, but
No,
I think that's what it is.
I agree with you because what's really funny for me is I give like JRPGs and anime games so much more of a leeway than I
Mm-hmm.
will give like a big AAA game. Like been playing Gotham Knights, and when I first started playing it, I wasn't enjoying it. And then I was like, oh, this is an RPG. No, I need to start again. And I literally started the game again and I was playing it as an RPG. I was like, the
Right.
story will come. I'm building up my character. That's why I'm not that strong and stuff like that. And I had to play it like an RPG rather than the third person action adventures like Gotham Knights and stuff that like Arkham that I'm
Gotcha.
used to. And I will give JRPG such grace. Like Persona 4 Golden, that's my favorite out of the Persona series. And I don't think you get into a fight for about half an hour. Like, I'm just meeting my family. I'm chatting to the new cute thing. I'm
Yeah.
finding out my ends. Like,
That's a build
literally,
up.
yeah, I've got that half an hour of story thing where when that's done in Western, like people like blow their mind, like, oh, you don't get into action until how long into the game? And
Mm.
and but that connection that you get with them characters in those kind of anime games and them JRPGs, they feel like nothing ever do. Like I remember playing Final Fantasy VII and playing Legend of Zelda, and Cloud and Link are still my favorite characters ever.
Hey, you must love Smash Bros.
Yeah. It's so. Do you know what's funny? Yeah. So when Nintendo announced when they announced Wind Waker, I wasn't super happy about the art style because it was more
Oh,
cartoony,
of course,
and I
yeah.
always wanted a realistic looking Zelda. So what I used to do is I used to play Melee, and I'd get Link, and I'd get Ganondorf, and I'd get Zelda, and they'd all be fighting, and I'd be acting like it's like a next level
Yeah.
3D Zelda game. It's so funny. So you're a Twitch streamer, and you do a lot of content on YouTube. Super, super talented. Videos doing crazy
You're too kind. You're
numbers.
too kind.
Love the content. What are a couple of the games that you really love to get into with your community? Love to do content. What's the ones that really stick out to you?
So back on Pokemon, because we can't escape it.
Gotta catch 'em
Yeah,
all.
they caught us, that's for sure. Or me at least. But yeah, Pokemon was the first game I actually ever streamed on Twitch. So that has always been a stay. Every time there's a new game out, I'm always streaming that with my community playing together, especially now as of like the previous game Sword and Shield, like you have like a raid feature. So I can
Yeah,
just hop on, grab 3 people from my chat, hop in and do a raid. Like, it's
sick.
so nice. It's such a fun thing to do.
What else jumps out to you?
Genshin Impact's another one because as much as I enjoy that game, grinding for items and stuff to level up my characters, I've it's weird because as much as I love JRPGs and RPGs, I hate grinding. So
Yeah.
like hopping into to multiplayer with my chat and like having them help me out with the grinding just makes that way more fun also. Like anything
Uh,
that I can play alongside my chat, even like Mario Kart, Splatoon, I love it.
I completely agree with you. I honestly think it's bad design grinding. Like I feel like if a game has like basically I feel like in a JRPG, if you're grinding, grinding should make you OP. So if you want to be
Mm,
OP and you want to go in and be able to batter everyone, then you go and grind. But I feel like it's a bad game design that if you because that's even one of the things that I hated about the original FFs. No, I tell you who does it really bad. FF10. I
okay.
love Final Fantasy X. It's one of my favorite. It's my second favorite in the series. But like when you go to fight Seymour for like the 19th time, like when you
Wait,
go
who's
through those.
I haven't played Final Fantasy X, so I'm not sure
Okay,
who
all
Seymour
right,
is. You
all
might have
right,
to
all
explain
right,
that
yeah.
one to me.
All right, so basically, Seymour is the antagonist. He's the big villain
Okay.
in 10. And when you go to fight him, there's a part where you go to a snowy mountain, and if you haven't grinded, he just batters you, backhands you all over the place, mashes you up, and then you're just like. So then you have to go back and keep on and grinding and upping your characters to go and defeat him.
Mm,
And I don't think that's a good design. Something like Persona. So Persona does something really incredible where you go to that metaverse and your metaverse is basically, you go to the underground in P5. That's basically grinding, but it's
yeah.
forced grinding because it's part of the game. You have to do things in the game and it's forcing you to build your character stats. So then when you do go and fight bosses, you're strong enough to be able to take them on. Now,
Yeah.
if you want to stay down there longer and get OP, then that's your option. But that's good game design to be able to be like, look, this is what you have to do minimalist to be able to defeat what's coming against you. Where I think a lot of JRPGs, especially older ones, they're like, no, 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 you're at level 1, and then the next boss is level 50, then it's at level 200, and you just bet whatever you do in between there, that's your business.
Yeah. I feel like some people kind of like that freedom in a way, weirdly. But at the same time, I kind of think I'm of a similar opinion to you, where like if the side quests help you level up to match that, and they're pointing you in the directions of the side quests, like you should be doing this, then that also kind of helps as well. Like similar to like the metaverse in Persona. I guess I would consider that kind of like a side quest also, since there's a lot in there you don't necessarily have to do.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's
massively
when
agree on that.
That's when it's done really well. So one of the things that I love to talk to people who play a lot of Pokemon is about Arceus. What was your experience of it, and what do you think about it? Because everyone has such different opinions.
Yeah. So I love that game. If there was multiplayer in the game, it would have been so much better. Like, obviously, there was not really much battling as well because you're in the past and trainers don't really exist. I think for me, it was like so fresh, fun, and different that it was like actually a really enjoyable experience. And even in this new game that just came out, Scarlet and Violet, there's stuff from Legends Arceus that I wish they would have put in this. Like, I feel like that game like implemented some bits of like the open world areas like
Yeah,
better than what we have now. So it's like, ah, man, give me some of that back.
I think Arceus was so good. I feel like one thing about Game Freak is I feel like sometimes they rest on their laurels too much. I feel like they know people love Pokemon, so
Mm,
they will just give them a redone version of the same game. Like I don't feel like there's been that big evolution until Arceus. And
yeah, I would agree.
Arceus does feel like it was a bit of a testing ground to see what people like and what people don't like, but it was just so free. Like it felt so good running around, seeing Pokemon in the wild,
Yeah.
actually battling them there and then capturing them. Like, obviously, there was a lot of repetitive moments and stuff like that, but
Right.
it felt so good. And that was the first, I'll be serious. That's the first time I've loved playing a Pokemon game since Pokemon Stadium, fam,
Oh,
on the
wow.
N64. That's the last time, like, I've actually proper enjoyed a Pokemon game. Like, Arceus for me was so good. And maybe Arceus was designed for me. Someone who's interested in Pokemon, but the normal Pokemon formula
Yeah,
hasn't really worked for them. And that's what I was hoping. What is it? Scarlet and Violet, the new one?
yeah.
That's what I was hoping Scarlet and Violet are doing. I think I was hoping it was gonna keep the old school, like battling other trainers and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But have that kind of open worldness. Is it not doing the both right? What would you
Honestly,
say? What would you say it's doing right, and would you say that it hasn't really done for you?
so I do think it carries the open world area very well into Scarlet and Violet. So with Legends Arceus, it was kind of like sandbox areas, right? Like you would have to
Yeah,
go in and out of each different area and go back to the home base. Kind of, it's more like Monster Hunter in that way, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Whereas this one is actually just a massive open world. You can travel around everywhere. It's amazing to go around. But it actually, it's hard to say it feels more free because I feel like with Legends Arceus, there wasn't like a defined traditional story in that same way, right?
Yeah.
But in this one, you get stuff like the gym badges and these other two storylines, and you can do them in literally any order you want. There's no scaling in it, but it's awesome because if you want to fight that level 50 gym leader first, you can do that. If you want to spend like the entirety of the first, I don't know, 5 hours of the game just running around catching Pokemon and like getting strong, and you want to try and get that challenge straight away, then that's dope. You know?
It's funny how much Breath of the Wild has inspired and changed the generation of what gaming is.
Yep.
And I feel like Nintendo really changed so much things, and everyone has been trying to work out how do we capture that in our game that makes sense. So,
Mm,
like, obviously, you can tell that with Arceus, Sonic Frontiers,
true.
and even down to like Horizon, where making sure that you can climb and making stuff be more open. Where original like Zero Dawn felt a bit rigid, or like go
Yeah.
here, with Forbidden West kind of making it much more loose and open. And
Okay.
I think that's a sentiment of Nintendo's incredible design of Breath of the Wild that's really changed and implemented how gaming is. Ah,
Even like
I,
Genshin Impact,
yeah,
like that
yeah,
whole
exactly.
game.
Yeah. It's just basically anime teeth of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's madness.
What I need to ask you, fam,
Mhm.
what did that Ras blue curry taste like?
Okay, so we're talking about the Sega Sonic curry, right?
Yeah,
For
so
Sonic
you
Frontiers.
got a gift package. People know I'm always getting gift packages. I'm super lucky, blessed to be able to get that. You got a nice gift package. Fam, they sent you blue curry. Talk to me.
Yeah. So I got a nice little apron and some ingredients, and they asked me to make a blue curry for the release of Sonic Frontiers. So obviously, I had to see if I could eat it fast and do it in a minute and 30 seconds. You can see for yourself whether or not I succeeded. So, but yeah, it honestly surprisingly tasted all right. It tasted good, aside from the slight taste of food coloring.
Yeah, okay. Because
There
I
was
was
always a hint
like,
of that. There was a hint
because
of
you
that for
didn't,
sure.
you look like you was in pain eating that, my G. You didn't even look like it was a pleasant experience.
So every time I looked up at the camera and I saw blue, I don't know what it did. My brain was like, "You shouldn't be eating this," you
Placebo
know? Like,
effect.
right? It made me feel weird about eating it, but then like, I'd be like, it doesn't taste bad, but it just feels wrong. Like,
That's funny. All right, we're running out of time, but before we leave, I definitely want to talk about the importance of streaming and community and stuff like that. So, what made you want to become a streamer? Like, we've seen an influx of streamers and gamers, and different ways, but everyone has a different story. So I'm really interested of what made you want to start this journey.
Right. So my first year of university, it's like 1 a.m. I'm chilling playing Destiny or something, and from the next room, I hear my homie Javon screaming at his friend. Like, I'm like, what is going on? So I text him, like, you okay? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm just streaming Monopoly with my friend. So I'm like, okay, what? Like, I need to see this. So
Yeah.
I start watching him every so often, and he's doing it. Like, I'm enjoying that, having fun. And so I decide, you know what? Let me try this for myself. So my third year of university, I think I booted up Pokemon, streamed that. I'd always watched a lot of Pokemon content creators on YouTube this whole time. I love Pokemon, guys. I know we've spoken about it pretty much the whole time, but you know. So I streamed
That's
Pokemon for the first time 2016 October, and from that point onwards, just kind of like talking to people in the chat as I'm playing. It reminded me of like old Xbox 360 games, you know, like
yeah.
playing Halo, talking with people. It was like the same kind of energy, and I think that was so enjoyable to me that just it's something I've continued doing, you know.
Yeah, that's dope. And the thing that I love about you is you're very different from anyone else I've ever met in the scene. Like your energy, your content, like you just carry yourself completely different. And I think it's really important to have different faces of us. I think
Mm,
one of the things that happen is with lots of companies, they're like, oh yeah, we got a black person in. Yep, that hits our quota. I'm completely different from you. You're completely different from that person. We all have different personalities. We might
amen.
all love the same games. We might hate the same games, but we all have something different and bring something different to it. And what you're bringing to the
Absolutely.
scene is incredible. Like your content is so dope, and like I love watching you do stuff with E4 and the stuff that you've been doing on like GTV and stuff like that. And was super blessed to see you up there looking like a black James Bond on the BAFTA stage. So yeah, my guy, man, just keep doing what you're doing. I wanted to give you your kudos and just say keep being great at what you're doing because it's noted.
I appreciate that a lot. It's very kind of you, especially with someone with as many accolades as you, someone as entertaining as you. That means a lot. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
I, I appreciate you, my guy. And I appreciate you for all locking on. You got to make sure you go and check out Chocolate Kieran's content. Fam, you got to see him yamming this blue curry. It looks mad. It's a madness. Go and watch it. Go and watch him reacting to Genshin Impact, playing it. He's got videos, checking out Valorant characters, bare content over in the channels. So go and check him out. Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. And we out here. Peace. And that's it. Go